Hello developers, engineers, and friends. Ken Briodagh here from Embedded Computing Design, and this is yet again another episode of Embedded Executive, special and live here from Embedded World 2026 here in Nuremberg. And we're having a great time. We're talking about technology. We're arguing about AI. We're all having a good time here, and I am so happy to have as my guest right now, Christoph Herzog from TASKING. Welcome to the show.
Nice for having me.
Really my pleasure. So, before we get started, in case folks aren't familiar with TASKING or what you guys do, can you give us a little bit of background?
Sure. So TASKING is the company when you think about compiling, debugging, and testing. So what we do is whenever you do take an Infineon, an NXP, a Renesas chip, and you need a safety certified compiler, you go with TASKING. If you need a great debugger, you go with TASKING. If you need a test and verification solution for embedded systems, you go with TASKING.
Yeah.
So that's really what we do. We started 2021 as a carve-out from Alcyon, and from that we acquired iSystem, our debugger part, we acquired LD-Ray, our test and verification part, and now bringing all of that together.
That's incredible. So you guys love to talk about the compile, debug, test path. Why is that so important? Why is that such a core part of what you do?
Yeah. So the core part is really coming from technology. So think about when you have a compiler, you take the source code, you translate it, and you have an L file. And when you take the L file with the debugger, you simply retake it, you flash it, you can trace the information, so you also have a back path to the source code.
Yeah.
And same for the testing. When you test it, the challenge is like, okay, you don't often have access to the hardware, but with our debugger, you really have access to the hardware. How's it behaving, the misreceipt checker, the static and dynamic code analysis in general. So bringing all of that together is simply so much easier for our customers.
Yeah, for sure. So I think it's fair to call it a unified approach across the entire code life cycle there.
Yeah.
Why is that kind of approach so important, especially in mission critical safety situations, automotive, government sometimes, all those kinds of things, transportation, all that stuff. Yeah. Why is that so important?
So it's actually two topics. The one topic is whenever you develop embedded systems and you have a result from a tool and you need to import it in another tool, you have tool breaks.
Yeah.
And with having a unified approach, you get rid of the tool breaks. It's working. It's simply we check the result and we can easily import it.
Right.
So you're getting rid of the tool breaks. And the second part is we are supporting, let's say, all chips, whatever you have, like Texas Instrument, Infineon, Renesas, and we see that our customers would like to take change the hardware, but take the software and just bring it to a new chip. And with the unified approach that you compile it, debug it, and test it out of one hand, you simply easily can migrate it. Because also from the business model, maybe going shortly there, from the business model, it's also, for our debugger, it's completely agnostic.
Right.
So you can debug any device. You don't need to purchase an additional license. It's just working. You can debug Infineon in the morning, Renesas in the afternoon, TI in the evening. Yeah. So, and that's the unique thing here.
So let's talk about the topic that everybody's talking about, AI a little bit. Yeah. How does that fit into this process, and how are you guys using it if you are?
We use it, so what we do is, we have an MCP server, we have skills, everything for our customers.
Yeah.
You can use, we always call it GUI of your choice. We work closely with AWS, so we have the integration first done with AWS Kiro or Cairo. Different people talk it with Visual Studio Code. And we really have integrated it. So what we show at our booth is that you can interact from compiler, debugger, and the test and verification part out of Cairo. That you simply can prompt, can you please set me a breakpoint? Can you please compile the software? Can you, before you compile, can you check what are the best compiler options for me? Can you make a misreceipt analysis with me? And that's all only via Cairo, that you directly go with AI. And what we think is that you will have a great diversity of GUIs, or let's say agents that are getting used. If you use Visual Studio Code, Copilot, Claude, whatever, you will have different agents in the team, but with our approach, with our MCP servers and our skills, everybody can get access to it and use the GUI of his choice.
Yeah.
And it's making things so much faster.
Wow, really?
And it's really fun to watch. And
So customers are getting in there too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have customers using it, and they are so much faster. And the interesting part is, personal opinion, 6 months ago, it was like, it's not going to happen. But it's really evolving so fast, getting the tools together and building it together, bringing it to customers. Also from, let's say, a tool perspective, classically it would have took us 1 year until we have a release.
Right.
But now we did it in months.
Wow.
And released it to customers. They're using it and utilizing it in safety critical environments.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
That's very cool. That's very fun. So I know, you've been having lots of conversations already.
Yeah.
We're for those of you watching this after the fact, we're in the middle of day one.
Yeah.
Have you been hearing anything exciting? Anything that's been surprising to you yet?
Actually, not yet. I will have my walk around on first day.
Yeah.
What is interesting, I think, is the energy, general, and the openness of the people talking. I've started last year that people starting cooperating, open working, and I feel this energy this year again.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting.
The vibes are very good this year.
Yeah.
Christoph, thank you so much for joining me. Really
Thanks for having
appreciate
me.
it. Folks out there watching, don't go away. We've got lots more coming to you from Embedded Executive, Embedded Insiders, and all of our programs, both in podcast and on YouTube. So don't go away.